So gifted education is for students that need more challenging work than what is provided in their general education classrooms. And when students come to the gifted classroom, there is a special DESE recommended curriculum in order to meet the needs of high ability students like our gifted students. So as you can see on my bulletin board right here, this is the basis and backbone of everything that students learn in gifted. So gifted is all thinking skills based, whereas general education classrooms are typically content based. So that's the big difference. Gifted students come to the gifted classroom to learn these 6 big skills: complex reasoning, creative thinking, affective processing, which is their social and emotional learning, executive functioning skills, communicating effectively, and global mindedness. So everything we do in this classroom comes back to these 6 big thinking skills. Okay. So my gifted program at the elementary level is for 2nd through 5th grade students. And so I bring the 2nd graders over from the primary building into my elementary classroom each day. And when students first come in, they start with some sort of brain warm-up. And we have a different warm-up every quarter of the school year. So it's usually focused on logical reasoning, critical thinking, sometimes even creative thinking. Right now, then we meet here in what I call the living room in the gifted classroom. And this is where our main instruction happens. So right now, what students are doing here at the beginning of the school year, they're going through what I call gifted boot camp. And so that focuses each day, we focus on one of these skills. That way they know that's exactly what this skill is, or what one of the smaller skills within their big skill is. So they can make connections through the rest of the school year in metacognition and be able to understand why we're doing what we're doing and how that connects to their gifted skills. So we have just finished, and we put each puzzle piece up as we learn the skill. So they really enjoy getting to rebuild the puzzle every school year and finding out and remembering what their skills are. So that's what the beginning of our school year always looks like. And then after we finish gifted boot camp, we get into the unit for the year. Last year we did the art of persuasion is what we focused on. And so I don't know if you can get this in the video. But we first started by learning the 4 forms of communication, which of course connected to communicating effectively. We spent about 2 weeks focusing on each type of communication: verbal, nonverbal, visual, and written. And we had a small project, real world project, that went with each of those. And then second semester, we went into the actual art of persuasion: ethos, logos, and pathos. Those are the 3 basically pieces of persuasion. And I will tell you, that is a college level skill. That's what our juniors and seniors are learning in college writing at the high school if they're taking dual credit. So I introduced that skill to 3rd through 5th graders, and they took it and ran with it. And actually, it was very exciting last year because we had a complete real world project that we were working towards. DESE has like a school calendar, and they put all the special days and recognitions on that school calendar. And they had everything from Librarians Day to Counselors Day to Special Education Day, lunch ladies or lunch cafeteria workers days. And like all of those things need to be celebrated and recognized, but gifted education was missing. There was no recognition statewide of gifted education. And my students and I saw that as a problem and something that we could change through the art of persuasion and communication. So their final project last year was to create an ebook. So we incorporated technology, and we used written and visual communication. So we got to practice those skills and bring in those communication skills. Each child created their own ebook, and then they emailed those links to those ebooks to Missouri DESE. And we asked them, can you declare a statewide gifted education week? So their ebooks focused on those 3 forms of persuasion. And I'm happy to say that DESE responded well, and through our initiative, the 2nd full week of February has been declared as Gifted Education Week across the state of Missouri. So we are very excited and looking forward to celebrating our first ever Missouri Gifted Education Awareness Week in February.
we worked together as classmates and as a team, and we all each made formal emails and sent it to the Department of Education of like the secondary and secondary education, and then we sent our formal email to DESE, and they approved it, and now the whole state has Gifted Education Awareness Week. It's the second week of February.
You guys did that?
Yes. I don't know. It maybe in a few years it'll be on calendar.
And we had to learn about ethos, logos, and features.
Oh yeah.
To be able to write our books, they were
The
books on a
persuasion.
Chromebook. Yeah.
Our ebooks, yes.
And it helped us persuade them more because those things are the main parts you need in persuasion to be able to persuade someone.
In middle school, I try to make gifted class a try something new time. I like to think that we're doing things in my classroom that most classrooms don't have time for. I want to teach kids to stretch their thinking and to find their creative side, which isn't always easy for my kiddos. The classroom is a place that they can be themselves and be as smart as they want without any fear of ridicule. Last year, I even had a kid that would dance into the room each day with a smile on his face and say, "I am so glad I can be me here." And that's what I want for all of them. This year, we started the year off working towards creating our own worlds so that we can play a version of Risk to find out who's king of the world. We went through defining democracy and civics and determining our own personal values. We worked through describing constitutional amendments and what they mean as applied to school and then applied to the country. We talked about different types of governments that are available, all in trying to help them decide how they're going to run their country. They're going to create their own country, their own landmass. They're going to highlight important details to running their country, and then we're going to play that game of Risk. Kids are pretty excited to see who's going to be king of the world.
You can protest for what you agree. Don't mess with us or you'll be cut in three. If you don't stop, we'll make you a tree. With our rights, you won't have to worry. You'll just have to firmly worry about getting dirty.
Since 1919, they've been limiting the first. I know, it's the worst. And the schools, they help the first by having assemblies that may be cursed. No matter what, it helps the first.
At the same time, kind of in the background, we're playing the stock market game. It's a national competition. We're currently just playing against Missouri students. In this, they have a platform where they get to spend a fake $100,000 to invest in any stocks. And from now into December, we buy and sell at will. And we're just tracking how much money we can gain against other students in Missouri. We played last year for the first time and they loved it. We wrote an essay about what it means to buy stocks and sell them. And it really was eye-opening to a lot of kids. Not a lot of kids knew about the stock market. And that's something that they wouldn't see or be able to have time for in other classrooms.
In those thinking skills. But the main important part of what I do with our high school students as a resource teacher for them is I have individual meetings with them once a quarter. And so these individual meetings are very specific to what their needs are in pushing them both inside and outside of school to achieve their highest potential. So I am able to connect them with mentors or internships outside of school in their areas of interest. I'm able to help them with career and college major development and decisions. I'm able to connect them with scholarships that would be a good fit for them to apply to. I am able to connect them with volunteer opportunities that would be a good fit for them. Really, anything that is going to help them reach their fullest potential and kind of connect them between being a student and becoming a successful, gifted adult is the focus of that program. And of course,